Have I mentioned that I do not like to exercise? Oh, God. Um, yes, I have mentioned this. I've also mentioned that, yeah, if it was up to me, I would lay in bed and eat chocolate chip cookies and watch TV or yeah, Netflix. I would do that. And sometimes I do. Not rarely eating chocolate chip cookies. But anyway, it is often a life of doing what I don't like and I don't want. But I am grateful that I do it. I'm grateful for what it creates. Um, I mean, I have a clarity in my mind. It's just like I don't have this. Oh boy, I want to swim. Oh boy, I want to train. Oh boy, I want to be fit. It's like, yeah, okay, you know, let's do that. Um, so anyway, I'm going to get in the water. I'm going to see how far I swim, and I'll check back in with you after this amazing experience of swimming. Huh? Wow.
Hey, it's not so often I make a video here in the car, but it was interesting what I just did to me. Um, yeah, I went for my swim. But before I went for my swim, I parked in a parking area that is a tow-away zone. And it says so right on the sign I posted here. Um, and it's kind of a strange tow-away zone because nobody ever parks here except for sporting events that they have. Um, yeah, weekends, evenings, whatever. So during the day when I come for a swim, this parking lot's always empty. But it's empty because they have these pictures up that says we're going to tow your car if you park here. Now I know that there are some people who park here when they go for a swim. Um, I parked here one time to go for a swim, and the guy who works at the facility came out and said, "Hey, you don't park here," and he shows me the sign, and so I left and found a parking place, yeah, quite some distance from the pool, and I avoid parking here. And today I parked here, and so what I did to me was I let the fear of being towed away be a part of my experience when I was swimming. And I saw that, and I saw how it affected my thinking. Just the presence of a scary story um, affected the way that I experienced myself and my swim. And so I had it in mind as I normally do swim two and a half, usually 2.5 kilometers, and I noticed this fearful thought coming up, and then working with it, and then noticing it coming up, and come on, we just finished this swim, we finished this lap, and then I noticed it's like, okay, well, really, we only need to swim 2 kilometers today. We're going to do a little run later. And so 2 kilometers is enough, I heard me say. And what was interesting is I said, wait a minute, is that really the truth? Are you stopping after two because you're going to do a run later? Or are you stopping after two because you want to get out to your car quicker? And I said, yeah, I think it's mostly to get out to my car quicker. So it's like, well, no, then we don't stop after two, because fear is not what drives my decision making process. Now, I noticed that in my last 500 meters, and I need to check it on my statistics on my training app. I think I did swim my last 500 meters relatively fast compared to what my last 500 meter set usually is. And so I did notice how, wait a minute. I think under certain conditions, when I threaten myself or I have the presence of fear, that I move more quickly. So then I needed to be careful. Yes, but when you move more quickly based in fear, then often you forget something, or you get careless, you get lost in some way. And so then it's like, okay, I feel the anxiety, I feel the fear, wanting to deal with the fear to get back out to my car as quickly as possible. And I move slowly. And I stay aware. And it was a thing, I'm not going to go out of my way to park here. See, I have one more swim here before I go back to Switzerland. I'm not gonna choose to do that again to myself on Thursday. Maybe I park here, but probably not. But it's interesting to self-observe and to see how the presence of fear, first of all, is very foreign for me. I can move quickly. I can move with intensity. I can move with purpose. I can do those things and create fear and anxiety for others. At least I'm told that. But I'm not driven by that. I can be very purposeful and very focused and very intense without being driven by fear. But this was clearly had the flavor and the experience. And so anyway, there's my check back in, 2.5 kilometers swim, not knowing exactly how fast it was, but it was quite a challenge. And grateful I have my music. I have an MP3 player that I listen to when I swim. I put there because it doesn't go in my ears. It goes through my temples. And so some great songs that remind me of, gratitude and that I am amazing and I am wonderful. I have to go find that song. I heard it twice during my swim. And so anyway, I check in with you later. I'm grateful not to get caught. Wow, I know that one from so much of my life, going back into my childhood and my early adult life as an alcoholic and a drug addict. It was like, oh, I didn't get caught. Oh, I didn't get caught, And so most times I didn't get caught for these things I was afraid of. Sometimes, yes, I didn't get caught, but I did have consequences. And what I didn't realize is that living in that fear of being caught or discovered or seen, was a consequence. And I had identified a particular outcome as a negative consequence, and living in that dis-ease was actually a constant and chronic consequence of choosing fear as a motivating and moving presence in my life. Now I stop, huh? Pow! Well, nothing much more to say. Had a quiet afternoon, took a nap. Napping. Yeah, never knew naps until the last few years. Took a nap, had some nice talks with Katja, and soon we have our popcorn and watch a little bit of TV before bed. Katja needs to get up really early in the mornings to prepare for school, and so we usually get to bed pretty early. And then I stay awake and watch things on my phone for a while before I go down. Didn't get on the running machine today. Interesting.
But anyway, tomorrow is a new day, and yeah, feeling really grateful and hope that you're having a good Tuesday, and talk to you tomorrow, probably. Yeah.